Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Israel Connection. I'm Esti Zenati, and I have a very special guest today, straight from Israel, Matan Peretz. He's an Israeli stand-up comedian and a very good one, I must say.
No, thank you.
And he's a content creator who gained a lot of exposure worldwide due to his Hasbara content following October 7 attacks. He is also a reservist in the IDF and was on the front line early on during the current war. Hi, Matan.
Hi, how's it
Thank you for
going?
joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So like I mentioned, as an audience member, I must say you're a really good stand-up comedian from what I've
Thank you.
seen. How did you even begin this journey through comedy? Was it something you always wanted to do?
Oh, wow, it's that kind of podcast. Okay. How did I start stand-up comedy? Oh God, I hate that question so much. Um, basically, I wanted to do this my entire life, but I didn't have the courage, so I did a lot of stuff. Um, Instead, like music and I worked in sales for years. Then when I was about to turn 30, I went to this like a stand-up comedy night for beginners, and I just wanted to try. So I went on stage, and ever since I'm a stand-up comedian.
Okay. Do you have any inspirations in comedy from Israel or outside of Israel?
I don't know. It's There's a lot of like great comedians out there, and there's a lot of great stand-up comedians that I really truly look up to. But lately, after the war like started, and everybody had an opinion, um, I got really disappointed like deeply from a lot of comedians that I thought were my idols. Like obviously Dave Chappelle,
Mhm.
recently Bill Burr, Joe Rogan. Um, yeah, those people who I thought were geniuses and have really like and a special outlook on life really disappointed me. So I don't really know.
Mm. Nothing in Israel, like no specific Israeli comedian that you look up to.
Oh, they're all great. It just I really grew up on American comedy more than Israeli,
Yeah.
and Israelis are amazing. We have real great ones. But I always looked at like Eddie Murphy and those kind of people. So in Israel, there's great comedians, but my aspirations were always going worldwide.
Mhm. Okay. And so on October 7th, you were serving in the reservists, right? Do you remember that day, the beginning of October 7th with everything that started, how it happened?
I was in Mexico. Yeah, I was in a vacation in Mexico before my supposed to be a winter tour, and
Mhm.
obviously got canceled. And I got back to Israel on October 14th, a week after the war started. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. And so you started doing Asbara right after that.
hmm
What was like the moment that you blew up? That you like? What was this like? Was there one video specifically that blew up around
There
the
wasn't
world?
a moment. There wasn't a moment. There's never a moment. It's not.
Mm.
Life is not like uh, the movies. There's not a moment somebody tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, you made it, kid." Never happened in real life. It's just it's a lot of different things. It's a lot of like different people that I met and connections, and I think it's just I didn't really aim for it, and that's when it really happened because I just wanted to do a bunch of videos about my country and use
Mm.
my English to represent what really happened in Israel from a soldier who was in reserve service and not some political commentator who knows nothing about Israel, but from what we like to call boots on the ground,
Mm.
and and it just took off. I don't really know like how or I wasn't aiming for it, but I guess people really needed to hear those things from somebody who's actually on the field. So I wasn't in Gaza, but being in Israel and in the reserve service in Judea and Samaria um was very intense.
And so following the everything that happened and also as well, how soon did you start performing again after October 7th?
I think we got back to performing around January. I think that was when the crowd really wanted some relief or some, some distraction.
Hmm.
Because we all thought this war is going to be over very soon, very quick. But then it went on, and it's still going, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because Israel is not allowed to win wars, so it takes so long. And so I think January 2024 was the moment people were like, okay, it doesn't seem to be over soon. We just need some, distract us from this terrible situation. So we got back on January. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did the audience receive that?
They asked for it.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I wasn't ready to get back. I wasn't ready. I was sure it's gonna take a long time before anybody was ready to laugh again, and we all took it in consideration. All the stand-up comedians. The thing is that I'm like one of like maybe four stand-up comedians who's
Hmm.
actually like an active reserve service. So most of them were just like performing to troops, but I was the troops, so I didn't
Yeah.
really. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't know, but the crowd was like, just sell tickets, just tell us where to go. They needed that, so yeah, the escapism effect. So yeah, sure. We did what they asked us for. Like we didn't open shows and we're like, please guys, come over. No,
Yeah.
they asked for it, and the moment we opened shows, they were sold out so quick. So we were like, okay, people really need this. So yeah.
Yeah, we had Modi on the show a few weeks ago,
Oh,
and he
nice.
said the same thing. He was in Israel also, and he performed. He's been performing for the Jewish community also, and that's one of the things that he said that people needed that and
Yeah.
so wanted. Yeah, like comedy and music also have a way of healing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what did that mean to you? Like going on the on stages right after, did it make you feel any better? Did it kind of was it some kind of like a therapy kind of for you, or you just did it purely for the audience?
It was. I think it was just. It was like It was very therapeutic as a group. For me as the performer, and for them as a crowd, it was very like we needed to talk about those things, and even not necessarily about the war, but just like take hour and 15 minutes and just don't care about what's going on,
Yeah.
and then after the show ends, we all go back to our private sorrows and our private situations and stories. But during that hour and 15 minutes, it's just we're having fun, and people needed that more than ever. And
Was it like
also the comedians.
yeah. Well, I'm sure. I mean, I can only imagine for you guys what it feels like to be on the stage and just making those
Yeah,
people laugh in the worst time possible. Like worst time for Israel is people and just making people laugh, giving them some kind of a
yeah.
moment of, just to be happy for a moment. Was there anything like surprising, like a person that showed up to one of your shows or like something that you were surprised about?
Um, I don't know about surprise, but it was around, I think, like the end of 2024, I think, when somebody came to one of my shows, and then she DM'd me on Instagram because someone didn't like one of my jokes, so he made it very public about like he posted stuff about the show, whatever. But I don't really, I don't really care about that because if you don't like something, sure,
Yeah.
the world is not, doesn't revolve around you. You don't like it, just don't come to the shows. It's all good. Like I never take it too seriously. But I posted it on my Instagram story, and I was like, listen, guys, if you're offended easily or you're a snowflake, please don't come to my shows. Like you won't enjoy. I won't take your money. I want to be fully like transparent. If you're easily offended, don't come to my shows. And and on that story, I got a DM from a girl that was in my show, and she said, she wrote that she lost a few friends at the Nova Festival,
Mhm.
and the first time she allowed herself to enjoy and have a good time and laugh was at one of my shows in Tel Aviv. And she said that she left the show and she felt like it's okay to laugh. So that was the moment for me that I was like, I don't care about anything else. If I helped that one person who lost like three of her friends at the same party, and wasn't even smiling, to laugh at my show, and then after the show she felt like it's okay to be happy again, I don't really care about anything else.
Yeah, that's true. And I saw that. I remember seeing that on your social
Yeah,
media.
I posted it on my
Yeah.
story right after the guy, because for me, that's the thing. For me, that's what comedy should do. That's what comedy
Mhm.
should do. Comedy is about our, it's about like difficult situations, and they say that trauma plus time, equals comedy, and that's true. And God only knows how many traumas we endure here, and and after you go through all that stuff, the only thing that got left to keep you sane is to make fun of it and to laugh, and to enjoy to enjoy life, however weird and complicated they are. That's the thing, and that's what I see myself doing. I take, like, we all suffer, we all have terrible things going on in our lives, and you never know what somebody's going through, but same thing, we all laugh, we all have fun, we all we all deserve to take the load off and just enjoy for 75 minutes. It's okay. It's doctor recommended. You should do it. Like, you
Yeah.
can't, it's so easy to get sucked in all the blackness and the sorrow, and all that void, and all that, depression. It's so easy in
Right.
Israel, and especially in the past 17 months. So I'm here to just, like, you know give you a little bit of light, just like a little candle. That's all I'm trying to do, and if you accept that light, amazing, and if you don't, that's yours, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And it's true, like they say that the biggest comedians out there are people who have gone through so much and have suffered through a lot, and somehow they manage to get all the comedy out and be funny and make other people laugh. That's incredible. It's an incredible talent also.
Oh, thank you. I think, just like, I think a true comedian, especially stand-up comedians,
Mm,
um we we obviously we talk among each other, and we're good friends. The comedy scene here in Israel, we're very good friends, especially like the new wave of
yeah.
comedy. Like my, my class, if you call it that way.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot, and we understand it's we suffer from depression too. You know, we're millennials, and we've been through so much shit, and it's easy to just say, fuck it, I'm just, I'm sad, and that's it. So easy. But as the people who God gave us that gift, and
Mm,
it would be incredibly selfish not to try to share it with other people.
yeah. Well, we're glad as an audience, we're glad that you're sharing it.
And I'm glad that you're paying me money for
Yeah.
it.
It's
That's
a
the
two-way street.
exchange. That's the exchange. Yeah, I love money and you love comedy. That's amazing.
Yeah. So what was like the most unexpected connection you had throughout this whole journey? I know you became friends with Michael Rappaport, which is
Yeah.
incredible. He's awesome.
He is awesome. I love Michael. He became like a big brother to me, which is weird for me. Every time I talk about it, it seems like it's not real and it's only in my head. But, like, the guy, calls me, and we talk a lot. And whenever he's in Israel, we get together and we have dinner, and it's like we became like good friends. And it's amazing. And he's such a funny dude, like, really so funny. And only comedians can make other comedians laugh, and, like, it's just, we understand each other very well. So yeah, that was one of the weirdest things that ever happened to me. But there's some connections going on. I think I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people responded to my videos, and Andy Buckley is one of them.
Oh,
The actor, yeah, and I, and I'm a really like diehard fan of The Office. So for me, to talk to
that's
David
amazing. Yeah.
Wallace, it's been incredible. And whenever we talk, I'm always like, I can't believe that it's actually happening. But I think that it's I look at it more as an added bonus than that wasn't the goal. It's nice that it's happening, and it's so much fun, and it blows my mind. But at the end of the day, even without those things, I would do the same thing all
Yeah.
over again.
I saw you were in the Comedy Sellers podcast like early on in
That
2023.
was that was insane. That was insane.
How
I
did that
don't
happen?
even know. I don't know. It was I didn't realize how old I am in that slot until they asked for a comedian who's doing active reserve duty and have a conversation level English.
Hmm.
Turns out I'm the only one.
Yeah.
So it was a really easy choice because there's no, like, they called me, we did like a meeting, like a video chat, and I
Mhm.
was in Hebron, and I was just like putting my phone on, like, trying to like make it and talking to the Comedy Sellers podcast. And it was a surreal moment for me because they were like, we were looking for this and this and this and that. And I was like, yeah, I'm the only one. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot of people speaking English like that, and Israelis on social media that can speak English and speak it really well. And, the accent is not so thick. You can't understand
I
anything.
can speak like this if you like, but
No, no, it's okay. Yeah, but it's
if
great.
you want it more authentic, I can do
Yeah,
more
right.
authentic.
Yeah.
No.
So you went for Yom HaShoah, you went to the concentration camps in
Yeah, I
Poland.
was in Poland. Yeah.
So what was that like for you? And you went with a delegation of Israeli influencers.
TikTok.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So what was that like for you, and what was your takeaway from that?
That was a unique experience. I don't think it fully like set in yet because I'm still trying to understand what we went through.
Mhm.
I still try to process everything, and I'm going through my videos and my posts on Instagram and on TikTok to try to understand really what was happening. But it was a TikTok delegation. I did it last year. This year was the second time, and when she called me, when Yara, our TikTok community like
Mhm.
manager, called me, yeah, and I was really confused. And then she was like, "Listen, it's an experience that you of all people would love to have." Like,
Yeah.
uh, and I thought about it for a while, and I realized that as somebody who's doing like hasbara and advocation and whatever for the state of Israel, it's kind of crazy that I've never been in high school, never been during my army service. I've never been to Poland, never been to the concentration camps, never been
Mhm.
to Auschwitz, and I thought about it, and I told her like I don't know what kind of content I will give you, but you're absolutely right. I got to do this, and I'm I I'm really glad I did. I'm
Mhm.
really glad I did because I was trying to avoid all the comparison between the October 7th and the Holocaust. Obviously, I think they're separate issues and both of them should be, taken care of separately. But again, it's what happens when anti-Semitism gets to its peak, you
Yeah.
know. It's anti-Semitism at its best, quote unquote, right?
Mhm.
So when you see what happened 80 years ago, um, and then 17 months ago, you tell yourself like, okay, like we will eventually, we will always stand on the ruins of our enemies. That's what happens
Yeah.
throughout history. through
Right.
and bigger empires and stronger empires. And we didn't have a country, and now we have a country, and we have an army, and we got borders, and it's not perfect, but what country is, you know? And so at least we got that, because when those Jews back in the day had no one to turn to and nowhere to run, now it's a different situation. And it was it was very important for me, and I think every Jew and everyone who doesn't understand what anti-Semitism is should go there and visit and see with your own eyes. I'm a very big supporter of go and see. Don't take anyone words for it. Like, do not. That's why I was so disappointed by Joe Rogan, for example,
Yeah, I was
because
going to ask you about that too, because I saw the video that you made. Yeah.
because you talk about Israel constantly, like, and you always take the other side. You always make fun of like, oh, they had to kill the innocent because of like, you claim to know so much. You claim that your whole persona is, I don't believe anyone. I'm seeing for myself, which for me is, as someone who left religion because I had enough of people telling me what I should believe,
Hmm.
and just wanted to know for me what is right for me. As that person, as an ex-Orthodox, like truly like Haredi person, to see that guy whose whole persona is based on, I don't trust anyone, I believe only myself and my eyes. Prove it. Stand behind your words. Like,
Right.
your friend Elon Musk said at the beginning of this war, he said he's going to provide Starlink to every people, like to every person in Gaza, and he don't care if Israel will cut off the power. He will provide for the people in Gaza. Blah blah blah. Then he came here and he went 180.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can say a lot about Elon Musk, but the one thing we can both agree on is that we don't have enough money to pay off this dude. Like,
No.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can say a lot of shit about Elon, but you can't say, "Oh, he's getting paid by the Zionists." No, he can
No.
literally buy Israel. So no. But if this guy came here, saw for himself the apartheid and all that bullshit that they talk about, and he said, "Okay, from now on, I'm walking around with like the dog tags of the hostages."
Yeah.
You, Joe Rogan, instead of making fun of Douglas Murray and acting like he's the fool, right? You should come here and see for yourself. And that's why that trip to Poland was so important to me, because you can see pictures all day. Every Holocaust Day memorial, you can watch every single movie. But when you're there, inside the Rudolf Hess's home, overlooking Auschwitz, you it really, like, it takes time to understand the level of hate and efficiency that
Right.
those people had, and especially in the time when they're they dare to compare the Holocaust to what people in Gaza are going through. Go to Poland. Tell me if there's anything you saw in Poland, any one thing you saw in Poland, who's remotely close resembling to what's happening in Gaza. Like, that was crazy to me. So that's
Yeah.
uh
The
that's what
only
that's
the
what I
only
took.
resemblance is what the hostages are going through. That's the only
Exactly.
resemblance.
Exactly. The only
Yeah.
resemblance is that they hated us then, they hate us now, but now they're less organized. That's the only thing.
Now we can defend ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really hope we'll get through, because if they hate us, they hate us. There's nothing you can say to convince
Right.
them. But if you have a little, even just a little bit of common sense, you should admit that you're wrong. And I've seen an article um that about like flat earthers, right?
Hmm.
And three of them went to the North Pole, to an observation point, or the South Pole, I don't really remember, to see for themselves if there's any situation of a 24-hour sun. right? Because if there is, that would throw the whole theory down the drains.
Right.
Because if you believe the world is flat, it can be a situation of a 24-hour sun.
Hmm.
And three of them went. I don't remember the names, but you can find it online. They all saw it. One of them said, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." And he got banned from his community. One of them. The other two just whatever, right? So even if you show people as bright as day, then if you're brainwashed enough, it can help you. You know,
Yeah.
you're too far gone. So hopefully Joe Rogan is not too far gone.
I don't know. I think like I saw the episode after that he
With
recorded with
Tim
another
Dillon.
comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And they made fun of Douglas. Like, how do you make fun of the most incredible journalist, a person who goes to these countries, to war zones, and
yeah,
sees things like with his own eyes and spends time there? He doesn't go there for 2 days. He goes, he's been in Israel for
yeah,
months,
yeah.
spend time there. And
That's what
um,
bothers me the most because the debate wasn't a real debate. He brought this Dave Smith dude as
yeah,
a human shield against Douglas Murray,
right.
and it wasn't really a debate because if it
No,
was, they lost miserably. But I don't really look at it as debate. I looked at it as Douglas Murray just educate them.
yeah,
That what it was. And then, like an episode after, you're making fun of the guy who just educated you, like in the best way possible. Like you just sit there with your eyes wide open, like a gazelle, and looked at him like, okay. And then you make
yeah.
fun of this guy. Like that's not
It's
that's
embarrassing. It's
that's
embarrassing.
embarrassing, and it's not an intelligent move. Like you had so
Mm.
many intelligent people on your podcast. You should know how an intelligent individual conduct himself, and you weren't one. So
Yeah,
that was really terrible for me to
it was
like.
just, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and, the Dave Smith guy, like, oh, I don't have to go and see it. And then, there are people like
yeah,
Blue Eye and Kareem, that these people that have been through, like, they lived in
yeah,
Islamist countries, and they've learned throughout their life, like since birth, basically, that Israel is the enemy and Jewish people are this and that, and they chose, like, the as extreme as they were, like the education in their countries, they chose to come to Israel and see things for their own eyes, and they completely flipped to the other side. And if they
hmm
can do it, I mean, Dave Smith can do it. Like his,
of course. And the fact that you just sit there and go, it's a non-argument. It's a non-argument. Shut up.
yeah,
Fuck off. I can sit here and say, yeah, talk shit about America for days. Know that if I weren't there, I don't have the actual mandate to talk about that. I thought so many different things about the US before I went there that it wasn't even close to what I thought it would be. Do you hear me speak about the Russian Ukrainian war? No, because I don't know shit about it. I've never been there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're fighting about. So the least you can do is either shut the fuck up about it or go there and see for yourself.
yeah,
Now, it's insane how they will take anything that supports their theory, but to go to the source code of things, they would never do because then they will have to face the fact that they were talking crap this entire time.
yeah. And then they would have to admit they're wrong, and they don't want to do that.
Exactly. And nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. But
Yeah.
you can sit there and talk shit about the population and about people and about me and about my country. And then when somebody educate you on the subject, you say it's a non-argument. You're a non-argument. You're an idiot.
Yeah. Oh my God. That interview was,
Just sit there
I
and
yeah,
with a little smile. Okay, okay. So what? I
yeah,
got so angry. It took me the video that I posted on Joe Rogan and Dave Smith, which really took off on TikTok.
yeah.
It like it was, I think, my 11th or 12th attempt of doing that video without flipping the fuck out of rage. It was just like I was like, keep your composure. Like, you want to get your point across. You don't
Mhm.
want to be angry,
Right.
right? And it took me so many tries to especially when I'm in Poland having this crazy, turbulence of emotion, and still be able to like, listen, I'm a big fan. Whatever I'm saying here is not to belittle you, it's not to disrespect you, it just bothers me as a fan, you know? And I bet he saw that video.
I hope he did.
He
Him
did.
and Dave.
He saw the video. He saw
Yeah.
I because the people who share that video is,
Yeah.
so
All right. Um, so like what other feedback did you get from it? Like, did you hear from your friends, from Michael Rappaport and from other people that saw that video? And did you hear from Douglas about this?
from Douglas from Douglas, no. I wish I had. I really admire that man. And Michael, like he told me, like, let's do it a collaboration because I want my audience to, to see that video as well. That was a big help.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's. I think I didn't do it to like, to get likes and shares. No, I did it to get my point across. That's all I wanted. And if I could send it to Joe Rogan personally on my WhatsApp, I wouldn't even post it. But
Yeah.
this, I just tagged him because that's how, is the best way for me to try to reach that guy. But if I could talk to him in person, I wouldn't need that video.
Yeah, but I think it's important that people see it, like not just him. I think
As
it's important
I
because
agree, I
yeah,
agree, I agree. There's a significance to people actually see it with their own eyes and understand and try to like to get the point that I was trying to get across, even though if
mhm,
it weren't for them,
yeah.
it's a
But
big
still, I'm sure some people needed to hear that too, because
yeah,
I'm sure he's not the only one who thinks the way he does.
of
Yeah.
course.
So you have a couple of shows in English coming up in Israel,
That's true. I
right?
got the 19th, June 19th in Tel Aviv, which is
Hmm.
almost sold out. It's crazy. In Jerusalem, June 4th, at the Nocturno Coffee and Bar, which is a cozy little place which I love, and they have great shows over there. And I didn't want to take like a huge venue in Jerusalem because I
Yeah.
didn't want to just get over my head. So I took that place and already like almost like a few last few tickets, which is very exciting for me. And yeah, like I'm done being apologetic. Like I know that in my Hebrew sets I can be more like dark humor and stuff. And I
Mhm.
always in my English shows I always kept it like very very light. But recently I came to the realization that it's because it's in English, they deserve like, less sharp material. It's not fair.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I wanna,
Yeah, they like your
it's,
stuff, so why not? Just give them
yeah,
all.
it's very recent that I'm 100% unapologetic, even in my English stand-up.
Yeah, you do the Olim podcast.
That's
So
true.
I mean, you're very much, yourself there as far as I can tell.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's one of the things that really helped me open up and really be myself, even in English, which is hard because it's not my native language, and you don't want to offend anyone, and you want to be politically correct as much as you can. But the Olim TLV podcast, which I co-host with Noah Barazani, which she is the head of Olim TLV, the page
Mhm.
is hers,
Yeah.
and she is the head of the community, and she helped me a lot, and we've been friends for the past 2 years, even I think even more, even before the war. Even the past 3 years, and it's been amazing to really try to connect the international community, especially the
Mhm.
people who made Aliyah here, to the Israeli you
Yeah.
know ambience.
That's cool. Do you have any plans on coming to the US for shows to perform here?
I'm working with Erez Sefer. He's a promoter for the Laugh Factory,
Mhm.
and he's been here in Israel a few times. We did a few shows together, and he want to fly me out to the States, maybe September or October. I don't. It's not closed yet,
Mhm.
but we're working together. He's a great dude, and hopefully we'll do like a full U.S. tour at the end of the year.
Don't forget to come to Baltimore. I know a lot of people, like a lot of
Okay.
acts, don't come to Baltimore. They go straight to New York and LA and Miami. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
come to Baltimore. There are some Israelis here and some Americans that would love to see you.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So before we go, I have a little segment. It's called My
Let's
Favorite
go.
Israeli Thing. Who is your favorite Israeli comedian of all times? Could be an actor or a stand-up comedian.
My favorite Israeli comedian of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wow. Eli Yatzpan.
Oh, okay.
He
He's good.
he's an OG. Eli
Yes,
Yatzpan is
definitely.
one of the pillar of comedy here in
Oh
Israel,
yeah. For those who don't know,
and he's
look him
still
up. He's
doing it.
amazing. He's
He's
still
still
doing it. Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
He's just an amazing guy.
Yep. What is your favorite Israeli comedy film?
Wow, comedy film
Hmm.
from recent years. Leshacher et Shuli.
Yeah.
From recent, yeah, like 100%. I don't know if because the first time I saw it, I was baked out of my mind, but still, I laughed so hard. I don't remember myself enjoying an Israeli film, like a comedy Israeli film, that much. So yeah, 100%. Leshacher et Shuli.
Anything from like the old days, like those big cult, comedy movies?
The old days, you get Chagiga Snooker, you get well, what else? All the Charlie Vachetzi, the classic
Yeah.
Borekas films.
But like, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if people know what it is, but yeah,
yeah,
it's very Israeli. That's all I can
very.
tell you.
That
Uh,
shaped our culture in a
yeah,
way.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Um, who is your favorite Israeli collaborator? Someone you got to work with? Yeah.
Oh, is my favorite Israeli collaborator
Yes.
that I got to work with?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Mm. I don't work. I don't work with people I don't love. So
So they're all your favorites.
I got so many offers.
Hmm.
Talking about the subject, I got so many offers to collaborate with so many different people, and I can tell you truly and honestly from the bottom of my heart that I didn't work with anybody I don't love, like because I don't have to. I rather not do
Yeah.
than do something with somebody I don't like. For exposure because they have a lot of following. I don't care less.
Right.
So whoever I'm collaborating with, I really appreciate what they do, and I love the person. So
Yeah, it's important to connect with the person that you're working
it
with.
is, it
Yeah.
is. I can tell you that the first time I met Yechiel Jacobs,
Hmm.
he's not Israeli, but just for the example, Yechiel Jacobs and Zach Marks and Ori
Hmm.
and Unico. Listen, those guys are so awesome. Really, they are. Like we had so much fun almost forgot to like video.
Hmm.
So that's an example for like I need to meet you first if we have chemistry, and then maybe we'll think about a video. But I don't meet people for like let's make a video together. I don't know you. No,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Yeah, and Yechiel Jacobs, he's hilarious. His
he's so
videos.
funny,
Oh,
and
God.
he's such a sweetheart, by the
He
way.
seems like it. He looks
And
like a
also
really nice
Zach,
guy. Yeah.
both of the Zachs, Zach
Hmm.
Lace Fox and Zach Marks is such a sweetheart, and it's came across some weirdos. Gotta be honest. Like they're doing a great job of like advocating, but they're total weirdos.
Yeah, I mean,
But
that's
yeah,
that's how it is.
yeah, I
You're
bet
not gonna
you
like
did too.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it's fine. They're doing the fine work, but just like they're not my vibe. But the people that I mentioned, I really like. I really did love to collaborate with them, and we still friends, and we talk to each other on WhatsApp. So yeah.
That's awesome. So since you are very much immersed in the podcast world in Israel, what is your favorite Israeli podcast?
Wow, my favorite. You're gonna get me in trouble. Um, my favorite Israeli podcast. Good question. Favorite Israeli podcast. I think I'm kind of biased because
Okay.
all of my friends are making podcasts now. So I listen to all of my friends because I build Legos all the time, and that's the best way to
Yeah,
listen to a podcast. To listen to a podcast while you're building Legos, I think that's the essence of life. Um, so there's so many good ones. I don't really like. I love obviously my friends' podcasts, all the comedy one. But my favorite one that I was a part of is Bagag Shel Itzchaki. You know that one? Itzchaki's Roof.
Yeah.
You know that one? And we're coming back to a second season soon, and I can't wait. I really can. I'm actually so excited about that. That's crazy. And we're planning next year to do like a tour in the States.
Oh, with
Uh,
the podcast?
for Israelis, yeah, like a
Oh, that
comedy,
would be awesome.
like for like a comedy marathon.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 people. We do like a bunch of shows all over. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. So come to Baltimore. Make sure.
I'll tell Itzhaki. I'll make sure Itzhaki knows about
Yeah,
Baltimore.
tell Itzhaki to come to Baltimore.
All right.
All right. So last thing, what is your favorite Hebrew word or expression?
My favorite Hebrew word or expression is Yebaseda.
Yeah, beseda.
Yebaseda.
My grandma's favorite catchphrase. Yeah, beseda.
Yebaseda. It's I think it's the equivalent of this too shall pass, you know?
Yes. You'll be okay, you know.
גם זה יעבור.
Gamzea.
עברנו את פרעה, נעבור גם את זה.
Good. All right. Well, Matan, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me. That was awesome.
Thank you. And thank you all for listening. Until next time.